welcome back to our channel. We are here for lunch.
As you can see, we have the delicacies and we are in two different moods.
Very much so. This is very Korean. I'm very American, I guess.
I have, what do you call this? Rice stuffed with fried shrimp delicacy. And here we have tteokbokki, rosé, carbonara.
Wow, that's a
spicy.
lot.
Spicy carbonara, rosé, tteokbokki.
That's a lot.
There's a lot of adjectives.
I'm just having Subway, you guys.
There you go.
It is what it is. This is an ugly sandwich, but it's so tasty.
Which one is it?
Turkey bacon avocado, of course, with
Avocado.
jalapeno.
Ooh, spicy! You want to try it?
I love this. I had an obsession with this specific dish for way too long.
Me too.
And I'm over it.
I'm back into it.
Today, I'm coming back to you with a story time.
Woohoo!
This is another one of the show that I'm watching on Netflix that's called... I finally found the English title. It's called Doomed Marriage.
Oh wow. Oh, that is a very terrible name.
Yeah. I love to recount to her the story because she's always outraged. And honestly, last night actually, this is a recent one. Mind you, these are real stories, by the way. These are not dramas. These are real stories. And if you're not familiar with it, people send messages to the MCs and tell them about their issues, and you have a team of psychologists, lawyers, and just celebrities who give them their advice. I watched one last night and I was just like, ooh, this is juicy. So without further ado, let's get into one of the doomed marriage stories, okay?
It's such an ominous title. I can't even lie. I'm going to send a letter to Doomed Marriage. Yay!
That's how you know, man, I'm in trouble. Let me have a bite.
This is nice. I remember why I was obsessed with this.
Oui. This is
nice.
my favorite of the whole restaurant.
I don't think I even, the moment I tried this one, I just ignore all the rest. And I came back to this. Because it's quite an expensive brand. Every time I go there, it's because I have a craving for this.
I used to get this and the kimchi fried rice. Eat half of each and keep it for the next day.
Yeah. Because delivery prices are expensive, honey. So when you order, okay? So good though.
No, let's see, that story is juicy.
I'm scared.
Let me place the context for you guys. In Korea, some of you might know, prices of real estates are off the freaking charts, right? Even though they're having a crisis right now, it's always expensive. It's extremely expensive. Even more so for business owners. So it's really hard and really complicated to look for a building for your business.
Is it?
Yeah. So when you do, obviously you will do what it takes to keep it, right? And you know, that's your livelihood, especially when you have a restaurant or something. So we have a married couple. They have a restaurant and they are looking to franchise the restaurant. So they're looking for a building. The whole thing is based on how it's really hard to find one, and they just got kicked out of another one. Well, not kicked out. They had to leave themselves because the owner was putting the rent super high, and they were asking for the service fee that we call the kwalibi and making it super, super expensive. So that was a way to force them out, basically. The wife is literally so stressed out. She's going everywhere. She gets a call from the real estate agency. They're like, we have a building that just came out. It's gonna go very fast. So if you want to see it, you should come tomorrow. And she's like, how much is it? And he tells her the price. And it's so freaking low and super affordable that she's like, no, we're gonna go right now. So she goes with her husband. The real estate agent is like, well, the lady who owns the building, she's from a rich family and they just gave her the building, so she's not really hungry for money. She's not trying to raise the price. So first come, first serve. So they run to it and they do the contract. The lady comes, and I'm so happy for them because she's so she's the sweetest person. She's like, oh yeah, I don't really need I'm not gonna up the price anytime soon, so please do your business and you can stay for years and years. I really don't mind. I'm not gonna up the thing. So everybody's super happy. And usually when you look at that show, things are doomed from the beginning. So you're like, okay, well, at least we have a good start. Okay, what could go wrong, right? So they're doing their business. Everything is going fine. Mind you, I'm looking at them jealous because they're a visual couple. The lady's very pretty. Her husband is super hot or whatever. And he's really nice to her. He's helping with the business, helping around the house and everything. Everything is fine, right? Now, the married woman, she's because this lady, obviously in Korea, there's this, in Korea and other parts of the world too, you recognize that culture. But when you know someone who's quite well off, obviously you want to build a relationship with them. And they're yeah, she's the owner of the building, let's be friends. She's a younger lady. So she's like around her age, let's be friends with her. So they try to like befriend her and like have her in their circle. And the lady, she's a single woman, so she lives in the penthouse of the building.
Mm-hmm.
And she meets them one night and she has like a light bulb and she's like, oh, I'm trying to change the light bulb, blah, blah, blah. And the lady, the married lady, the minute she did that, I was like, girl, you're doing too fucking much. The minute she looked at the bed, she was like, oh, my husband can help you. Like, just, you can borrow my husband. You can just borrow him.
No! Are you dumb?
I screamed at my laptop.
No! Like, literally.
No! Listen, when he went there, they were all together. The lady went with them, and so they were having tea, and he fixed the light bulb and everything. Everything was fine. So I was like, okay, fine. Like, no. Because I really thought they would do a twist, like, oh, he went to, like, fix the light bulb and bam, bam, bam. But it was fine. Went back home. And then the lady, she kind of started to come around. Like, she started to come to their, restaurant and, like, order and bring her friends. So everything was really fine.
Nice.
Yeah.
Good for my business.
Yeah. She was like, yeah, bringing her friends. Like, good for your business. Perfect. Right? And then she... Obviously, as the return, in exchange, every time she has an issue, the husband will go and like fix her stuff and like help her around the house, just as like a favor. One day, she's like, I have to go and like look for a new apartment in Gangnam. And the husband volunteers to like go with her, and the wife is like, but okay, you're helping her around the house, but why do you need to go and see apartments with her? Like,
what input do you give?
Yeah.
Like,
who are you?
You don't know this.
Yeah, you don't know this woman. You don't know her. And she's like, yeah, but she doesn't have a husband, so she could get like scammed if she's like a lone woman. I'm like, all right, there you go, great. And he's like, oh, and also I would love to see like a Han River View Gangnam apartment. It's my first time seeing it, so he's super excited.
And why the wife is not coming? I would come
because she has to take care of the restaurant because they have like one like a part-timer. And the husband's supposed to work, so he's like, yeah, I'm just gonna go for lunch, like, and I'll come back at the end of the lunch break. She's like, that's a little too much. Like, what are you doing? He's like, no, but I just really want to see. Like, you can tell he's like really impressed by stuff like that because they never had like a lot of money and stuff. So he's like, ooh, I get to see like a Gangnam apartment. So he goes. Do you think he comes back by the end of lunch break? Absolutely not. She's calling him. He's like nowhere to be found. She's calling the lady. She's not picking up the freaking phone, right?
At this moment, your first reaction is, there is an accident, or they're cheating.
My first thought would be like something happened, an accident.
But like not cheating, right?
Yeah.
Same. What happened?
Yeah, I'd be like, why are you taking so long? You're supposed to come back to work. The restaurant is booked solid, so they're like running around. The orders are getting late, so it's actually like messing up the business itself.
Yes.
So at this point, I would be like, screw you, because what are you doing with the business? I wouldn't be caring about anything. I'd be like,
I'm
what are
alone
you doing?
right now.
Yeah, I'm alone. What are you doing?
Come on now.
We're supposed to be like a team. Like, you're not a part-timer.
Our livelihood
is at stake. So she goes home exhausted. She finds him there. He was already home, passed out, and he was reeking of alcohol. So she's like, what the hell is going on? Like, what the fuck is going on? Fast forward, they went to see the apartment, and then they went and like had drink. And he was like, yeah, she wanted to talk, so they had drinks. I'm like, girl, what the hell are you talking about? The next day, she sees the lady, and the lady, she's like, really, like, she has this very innocent face. She's just like, acting like she doesn't know what everything is happening.
The worst.
Yeah, and so basically the tenant doesn't want to say anything because, again, she's the owner of the building. She doesn't want to have bad blood with her. So she's like, okay, let me just shut up. I'm not going to say anything. But the more and more stuff like this happens, she calls her husband for everything. One day she calls him and she's like, yeah, like my sink is like messed up or whatever. Can you come look at it? And the woman is just like looking at them from afar. And as soon as she's out of sight, the lady is just grabbing her husband like by the arm. And then he turns around and he sees that her shoelaces are undone. And he goes down and does her shoelaces. At this point, I want a divorce.
No. You know it's coming. At this point, you know it's coming.
What are you talking about?
Like, no.
Why are you... What? She can't say anything because it's in public. So she just waits until he comes out. And she's like, what the hell is wrong with you? Why are you out here locking arms with this girl? Like, what is wrong with you? What is wrong with you? So I'm thinking in my head, like, well, we all know what's wrong. They're probably falling in love and he's probably cheating on her. One day, the lady comes to the restaurant with another friend. And he's working there, and the wife is working too. And she's like, oh, oh, would you like to have like just one glass of wine while you're here? I want to introduce you to my friend or whatever. And the guy is looking at his wife like, and he just like sits down. And so now it's the three of them just drinking wine and just hanging out like they're like VIPs. The wife is working, and the lady, she's like holding the guy by the arm, and she's like leaning on him.
This is insane.
The wife is right there.
This is insane. This is actually, put yourself in her shoes right now.
I wish a bitch
because at the same time, there's the power imbalance.
Exactly.
So you cannot just be like, pa, bitch, da, 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 da. You cannot, because you still have to have her on your side-ish, because your livelihood depends on it. That is messed up, man. No.
So, she calls him out, and she's like, all right, now you're really pissing me off. Like, what do you think you're doing? Like, why are you... Like, and he's like, yeah, but we have to maintain a relationship with her. Like the typical excuse. And then one day, this is where it all goes to shit. She's coming to work. Her husband was supposed to have opened the restaurant, and he's supposed to be working. She finds the part-timer alone. She's like, where is he? And she's like, oh, he went to help the lady or whatever to do something. She's like, all right, I have enough of this. She goes up to the house. She goes up to the house. The lady casually just opens the door like, oh, what are you doing here? In like her gown, in her robe.
Hey.
She's like, I can't take this anymore. She comes in, she sees the table. The lady has prepared like breakfast for two and everything. And she sees her husband's shoes.
Morning?
Yeah, in the morning. She sees her husband's shoes like at the door. And the MF comes out of the shower.
This is now.
I'm thinking this is the worst case. I'm thinking this is the peak of the story. You would think this is the peak of the story, please.
It's not good enough for doomed marriage.
She's like, what the hell is going on? And the lady's like, we were just talking.
No, shut
She's
up.
literally like, yeah, we were
shut
just
up.
talking. Like, there was nothing we were doing. We're not doing anything wrong. I just wanted him to eat before he left. And she's like, oh yeah, and he needed to take a shower for this. She's like, oh, I mean, I don't know why you suspicious, blah, 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 blah. I'm like, all right, you gotta be kidding me. At this point, I'm like, if this was me, like, I would be deported out of Korea because I would beat both your asses. Ain't no way. So the guy follows her out, and he's like, yeah, nothing happened. And I'm like, what are you talking about? Nothing happened. She's like, I don't want you to see her again. It's over, blah, 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 blah. And he's like, yeah, but I did nothing. You have to believe me, blah, blah, blah.
Please.
Fast forward a couple of days later, she's just kind of like doing grocery shopping, and she hears, you know how like people do hear like people just like, spreading rumors and talking, and she meets two of the ladies of the neighborhood. She's like, girl, don't you realize like your husband is going everywhere with that lady? Like, aren't you doing anything? Like, why aren't you doing anything? Do y'all have an issue with your marriage? She's like, what? No, like, what are you talking about? And she's like, don't you know her reputation? Do you know why the previous couple left the building? Mm-hmm. I'm like, oh god, all right.
Well, that's a game to her.
Turns out the couple who just left the building, and the reason why it was so cheap is simply because the couple before, the husband cheated with the lady, and obviously everything fell down, so they left. So she's like, what the hell is going on? So she go back to the husband. She's like, all right, this is it. Like, we're not doing this anymore. We're done with her. And the husband is like, I like her. What? She's like, she's looking at him like, what are you talking about? She's like, yeah, no, I like her. It is what it is. Like, I'm not gonna sit here and lie to you. Da 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 da. And she's
You've
like,
been
so,
doing that for days.
Yeah.
Why? Anyway,
I'm looking at him like, how can you say this to a person with like a straight face? And he's like, yeah. The lady's like, so what? What are you expecting? Like, you think we're gonna get a divorce? He was like, well, if you could do that, that would be great. I'm like,
okay,
what? So she goes to the ladies, furious. You think she's gonna like do something? I'm hoping she's gonna like do something. But no, the lady is like, by the way, if you want to like get a divorce, that's fine. But you have to like leave the building, and don't forget you have to pay me for this. This is like, she starts to like all the repairs that they did for her, that she did for them, all the new equipment that she's like, yeah, you have to reimburse me for it. So it's like a huge amount of money. And the husband is also leaving her and going with the lady. But guess what? The lady is like, you think I like him? He's just a guy who listens to what I have to say. It's just a fun thing for me. So she's just going around destroying marriages. And I remember at some point in one of the first scenes, they were talking with the married lady, and she was like, "Oh, why? How come you're not married yet?" She's like, "Oh, guys just are intimidated by my wealth, so they don't want to be with me." So basically, she has this huge complex, like, "Oh, I can only just use the guys as like toys, basically," and that's exactly what she did with her husband. So at the end, she's asking the MC, "What should I do? What should I do?"
The thing is, obviously divorce, obviously leave this place. However, the point is, how do you leave that place without bankrupting yourself?
Exactly. Because the building, the restaurant is for both of them. So now what?
Legally, I don't know what that means. Like, if I want to divorce, how do we split the business that we have together? Be careful, you're going to eat paper. Like, how do we split? I don't know.
They asked the lawyer, and he was like, "It's very complicated."
Yeah.
There's a bunch of paperwork, but the problem is now the relationship with the husband is not good. They're fighting. So it's not like he's gonna be like, "Oh, let's just split and go." He's gonna try to put everything on her. Because he thought he was gonna go live with the rich girl. Then now she rejected him too. She was like, "I don't care about you."
So now what is his plan?
Doesn't have a plan. So now he's gonna leash onto his wife. He's not gonna accept the divorce because she was trying to kick him out of the business. If she does that, all the burden of the business that she has to pay is falling on her.
On her only.
He doesn't want to share the fees either. And he doesn't have a plan. This whole time, the lady from the penthouse, she's just playing around with people and like destroying their lives for fun.
This is literally penthouse drama.
Basically. When I was watching this, and until the end of the episode, they never had an answer. Because they were like, you have to basically figure out a way to split the expenses. Yeah. And basically reason the guy to split everything and then get a really clean divorce, and then you can like get away.
Also, what I don't understand is every time they were doing like renovation or buying new equipment, did they think it was a gift? Did they not think that they had to pay that?
That's the whole thing. The title of the story was even like Angel like Owner or something, because she wouldn't do it like with a lot of charges, but she would do it really cheap. And she was like, "Oh yeah, don't worry, blah blah blah. Just be comfortable. If you need anything, I'll do it." Da da da.
But in the contract, it was stated that they would have to pay. But she was saying like,
that's the last thing that the guy said. He said, check the contract very carefully and try to get out as clean as possible. And that was it. I was like, wow. The fact that this is a true story is shocking to me.
And the fact that there must be, I actually believe that like very easily, that a lot of richer people bored to their mind, like they don't know what to do, they have nothing, they have everything, so they have nothing to do.
That's the fuck with people.
So they just fuck with people. They're just like, oh, entertainment. That's wild to me. Like, what do you... Leave me alone. I already struggled enough like as it is. Why are you here? Why are you here? Because you're miserable, you have to make me miserable as well? Shut up. I'm not even miserable. You're rich. Leave me alone.
Yeah, that was it. Let me tell you, yesterday, I was looking at my computer like, what did I just watch? Why would you do that?
For what? What did you gain out of this? Is what I don't understand.
Do you have a message for the wife?
The wife? Be careful next time, eh? Oh, God.
Next time what? Next time you sign your life away with someone and make a business with them?
Basically.
She's never going to do that again.
She was young too, yeah? So hopefully she can find somebody new at some point, like rebuild her life. However, yeah, trust issues to the roof. That's what's pissing me off even more. Even the last time we had this, like the talk, like the other story, you're messing up people's ability to trust others.
Yeah.
When you do this, it's like, oh, there's so many trash people around the world.
Why would I trust you?
Why would I trust you, random guy I just met?
Yeah.
And then what do? You just live your whole life in fear that everybody's going to betray you.
And she still did everything right. It's not like she did a business with a stranger. It's her husband.
Like,
and he was basically cheating on her in front of everyone. And not even caring because he thought he was going to get to marry the rich girl. She didn't even care about him.
Actually mad. I feel bad for her. She lost everything at once. Like when you lose your partner, it sucks, but you can get over it.
But
you're losing your livelihood. Now what? Now I have to go back from scratch.
Yeah.
Don't mess with my livelihood, eh?
And they have a child.
Yeah.
Let us know what you would do in the comments. What would you do in that situation? Who would you kill first? I'm just kidding. Don't kill anybody. But yeah, let us know what you would do in the comments. And if you like the story time, give us a thumbs up.
And we'll see you in the next one. Bye.